Just look at that. Are you having a heart attack? Because I am. Hi you guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we are doing a good one. We are doing a video that I actually did when I first launched this channel. We are doing my clean makeup starter kit, my clean beauty starter kit kind of video where I suggest a bunch of products that could be fun to jump into if you're like kind of curious about some of the products available in the clean beauty world and you wanted some good suggestions and some good alternatives. I got you. I do. I got you. And I'm really excited to jump in and just get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's jump into my clean makeup starter kit video. So first things first, I always recommend for a starter kit in general is always like a skin tint of some kind or a tinted moisturizer. So everyone kind of has their preference. If your preference is Laura Mercier, their tinted moisturizer, then I highly suggest the Saie Beauty Tinted Moisturizer, their slip tint. That is very similar in consistency, and I feel like it has really good options, but I do feel like at times the shades can be a little bit too skewed one way. There isn't really, not in terms of shade range, but I mean in terms of like undertone, it's really skewed a certain way and there aren't as many options for everyone. So I wanted to suggest one that I feel like has a really good shade range option. It's a little bit more liquidy, the Tower 28 Sunny Days Tinted Sunscreen. So this is just like a tinted moisturizer that's a little bit more on the liquid side, that has SPF 30 in it, right? It's 30, not 35. Yeah, 30. I believe the Saie Beauty one is 35. I really like that one too. I'll link all those videos down below, but this is really good. I like this. I like this shade range option. I have two shades in this. I have the shade 40 Runyon, and then I have the shade 45 Silver Lake. Really like both of these. Silver Lake is more neutral. This is a little bit more on the yellow side, 40 Runyon, and for me, in the winter I skew a little bit more yellow, so I like something like this. It's always about undertone with skin tints. That's always what you have to remember. But these are really good. I like these a lot, and the coverage is good, but it still looks like skin. I don't know. I really like this. And the next, no one talked by this if you've been on this channel before, Amicole. The Amicole, what is this? The Skin Enhancing Tint. I love these, and I think for people with darker complexions, the undertones of these are unmatched. I would say like they're just so good. These actually have really good undertones too, but this is just really good. This does not have SPF in it, but I will say this gives me like glass-like looking skin. So pretty. I'm wearing it on my face today. I have two shades in this. I have the shade medium 2 and medium 1. Really good. Huge fan of these. I've talked about these a ton, so I'm not gonna gab on about them, but they're really good. I like them a lot. Okay, next, bronzer. I have two bronzer suggestions, just because I feel like the shade ranges give a little bit more options. The shade range options give more options. Can I get it together? I feel like there's a different range here, so I wanted to give a couple options. So one is the Ilia bronzer, and the shade I have in this is Novelty. I really like this. I could probably go a little bit darker in this, but I really like this. This is actually what I'm wearing on my face today. I feel like it looks really good. It looks really natural, melts into the skin. The LYS Beauty bronzers are also really good. Very similar consistency, very similar blend, but the shade range is a little bit different here. I feel like this skews super warm. This can skew warm depending, but there's a little bit more variety here. So as you can see, my shades in these are very different. This is definitely darker, but not so dark that I look crazy, because my preference is never a dark bronzer. I don't really like to contour. Really pretty. They blend into the skin really nicely. This is a little bit less warm. This is definitely a little bit more warm, skewing maybe a little orange, but not super orangey at all. Looks really nice and healthy and glowy on my skin, but I really like both of these, and they have good range options. And LYS Beauty definitely has really good options if you have a darker complexion. Really, really good. Like these both a lot. Okay, next. Okay, let's do concealers next. So I have a couple of concealers based off of what your preference is. So if you want a little bit more full coverage concealer, I really, really have been liking the Rose Ink concealers. And I feel like these aren't so full coverage that they can look not intense, but like they're not so full coverage that you don't really can't really play, if that makes sense. Like you can't, on days where you don't need as much coverage, this isn't going to be like too intense, because sometimes full coverage can look a little bit wild if it's on a day that you don't necessarily need it. I feel like this is really versatile, so that's why I'm suggesting this. But I have a ton of concealers that I love. If you love full coverage concealers, like full, in my favorites of 2021, I recommended full coverage concealers, like favorites, and I also recommended just kind of for more everyday. And then the Ilia concealer is really good as well. I feel like it's less full coverage than this one. I feel like the shade range is a little bit better in the Ilia one. I feel like the Rose Ink one, I will say, the undertones seemed a little bit funky to me, and I saw a lot of people saying they felt as though they were funky. So both of these are really good. I wear LX100 in the Rose Ink and Chai in the Ilia concealer. Both really good. Really, really like them, and they blend and wear beautifully all day. Okay, next, for the face in general, and also if you want something that isn't like a liquid and you prefer stick foundation, I'm going to recommend these. These are the Merit Beauty Stick Foundation Concealer Sticks, and I really, really like these. So for all over the face, my match is the shade Buff. Super, super pretty. Really good at hiding hyperpigmentation. I have a ton right now here because I broke out from the cold weather and just life and the holidays. And this is kind of pinpointed all over my face, and I use the end, the small end of the Heavenly Luxe number 7 brush. Obsessed with that brush. It's really, really good. And for my eyes, if I need a little bit of highlighter, I go with the shade Sand. Really good. Do not crease. Really, really pretty. It wears nicely as a foundation as well. My preference is just as a concealer, but if you like something that's more of a stick foundation, I really like this, and you can get some incredible coverage here, especially if you use certain brushes like the Heavenly Luxe number 7 or something that's a little bit more of a kabuki style brush. You can get a lot of good coverage with this. Really, really good. Okay, next let's do brows. The brow products I recommend, and one I've recommended last year, will recommend again for probably ever, is the PYT Brow Pencil. There is nothing better than this brow pencil, like genuinely. It's just so good. It literally doesn't budge. It is more of a waxy consistency, but it's not super full coverage, as you can see. Like, it's not super intense in color, but it gives you pigmentation, lasts all day, doesn't run. So freaking good. Obsessed with it. And what I said, did I say the shade that I wear in this? If I don't say the shades I wear, I'm going to link everything down below with the shades, but I wear the shade Chocolate in this. And then the Rose Ink Clear Brow Gel. Now, I really, really like this. If you're new to this channel, I love soap brows. I've tried literally, I feel like every brow product on the planet. I test everything that comes out in like every world. So I've tried the Anastasia Brow Freeze. I have tried the Patrick Taub, his brow gel. I've tried really everything, and this really impressed me because it gives me that like fluffy brow look, but it isn't super waxy down, if that makes sense. It's not as jelly looking, which I like for every day. I do really like that also jelly look, but for every day, I really like the Rose Ink Clear Brow Gel. They also have colors if you're interested, but this is really, really good. I like this a lot. Lasts super long. And when I take my makeup off at the end of the day, I can still feel that there's brow gel there. Like, I have to kind of make sure to like take my cotton swab with like micellar water on it and really get it off there. Okay, next let's move on to cheeks. So I have a couple of options depending on your preference and just what you like. So first things first, let's do like a cream sticky type. So this is the Merit Beauty, what is this, Flush Stick? No. Cheek color. Oh, it does not have a name. The cheek color, and I have the shade Beverly Hills in this. Really, really pretty shade. It's like, although it seems super like light in color, like it packs a punch. It packs a punch. It is really, really pretty. And what I love about this is it's super, super dewy and super easy to use. So I just take a brush, touch the top of this, and apply it to my cheeks. And then if I want to set it, I will set the top of it with a setting powder that I'm going to mention shortly. This is a really good option because this is dummy proof. Like, this is one of those that's super simple to use. If you're not comfortable using blush, this is also really simple to use. You can build it up. It doesn't have to be super full coverage, but you can, or pigmented, but you can definitely get it to a place where it's Wabam, Madison Beer style, like very aggressive cheek in the best way, in like the prettiest way. Next, I'm going for some good price point items. So this is the Jason Wu Hot Fluff. Now, this is such a good like multi-use product. So this can be used for your eyes, your lips, and your cheeks. I personally prefer to just use it on my cheeks because anything that's too matchy looks a little bit crazy on me, but on other people it looks like flawless and amazing and incredible, and I don't know how they do it, but on me it's like, girl, who let you in to the Crayola markers? But this is really, really good. It has more of a matte finish. It's just like a lipstick. I take the top of it I take a brush and touch the top and touch it to my cheeks, or apply it to the back of my hand, then take a brush and apply it. Lasts super long, not super dewy like the Merit Beauty one, and just gives you like this shade here, which is Cannoli. Did I say the shade that I have in this, Beverly Hills, is the Merit Beauty one I have? This shade, Cannoli, is like the perfect summer cheek look. I ordered a purple one that is really good for like colder months, but I'm obsessed with this and I highly recommend checking this out. And for the price, I think this might be like $8 or something, or maybe like $10. It's really, really, really good. Okay, next we have another Jason Wu product, and I just want to say I did a whole Jason Wu review, so if you're interested in some of his other products, check that out. But I have been really, really impressed with his cheek products and his lip products, and his cheek palettes are no exception to the rule. So we have 3 cheek palettes here, and we're gonna talk about them. I already did a full review on them, but they're just so good. These, in my personal opinion, there's 5 cheek palettes. These, in my personal opinion, are the best ones in terms of what they look like on the website. And I was right, because look how pretty they are. So I have 3 palettes here. This one is Drive to Napa. This shade in the middle here is life-changing. This shade here, if you want a purple blush, girl, so good, so pigmented. These are so pigmented, like, be careful. But they're powder, which is nice. So like it's easy to kind of rectify a wrong there. These are really good. This is, again, Drive to Napa. This one here in the middle, I'm wearing this shade on my cheeks today. This is the palette Sext. So good. This is so pretty. And again, if you are a big fan of that Madison Beer, how she kind of does her blush, she does the Charlotte Tilbury liquid, and then she does a powder on top. This gives me a very similar look to like what her cheek has, which is this palette specifically, the Sext palette, because all of these are like shimmery, but they're not aggressive glitter. They're very, very pretty, and I think any complexion really will be able to find a shade that looks really good on them in this, because the pigmentation, unmatched, you guys, unmatched. And then lastly, we have this one, Babe from Saint-Tropez. So pretty. This red, literally to die for. Like, if you're a person that loves red blush, especially in the summer, oh my god, it looks so good. This is so pigmented, you guys. Hold on, let me just... Are you gagged? Wait, let me swipe. Let me do the purple on this one, because the purple on this one is crazy too. And then this one here is from this palette, is so pretty. Just like the perfect, this is the one I'm wearing on my cheeks today here. So pretty. Just, it's so good. Now, they are so pigmented, last beautifully on the cheek. I mean, I have a whole review. I don't know why I'm chatting on about them, but they're incredible. You need them in your life. Okay, next. I blabbed on enough. Enough. Okay, next. Let's talk about powder really quick. So my recommendation for like a really good powder is the Kosas setting powder. Now, this isn't super mattifying. This holds your product in place though. So if you want something that's super mattifying, the Ilia powder, the white one, they only have one that is like fully white, is great. If you have dark skin, it's great. If you have light skin, it's great. It doesn't Flashback, that one is beautiful as well, super mattifying. But for everyday, my recommendation is something like this, because it's, again, I like stuff that's dummy proof, and I feel like these are dummy proof because they're pressed in a pan. This shade I have here is Cushiony. I'm obsessed with this. It's really good, makes my powder, like makes my whole face last super long. If I set the top of my blush or anything, this like kind of locks it into place, but the dew still comes out. I'm really into, as I think everyone is, looking young and looking youthful and not looking really like dried up and shriveled. And sometimes I feel like when I go full send with the powder, which is great, like love a full send moment, but sometimes you kind of look like a dried up raisin. And that's okay if that's your vibe, but it's not my vibe all the time. And sometimes, depending on where I'm at in my skin, right? Like sometimes I'm super oily, sometimes I'm super dry. Like it's a crapshoot, you guys. Everything's a crapshoot these days. And I feel like every time there's a season change, I don't know what's gonna happen. Depending on where I'm at with my skin, more matte powder just doesn't suit me. But something like this, that isn't super mattifying, just kind of sets your makeup in place, but then lets your dew come out, is really good. And this is really, really good. And I would say, again, starter kit, if this is your first makeup starter kit, I would go there for sure. And then if you find that, oh, I need more mattifying, then definitely check out the Ilia one, because it's really good and very, very blurring, especially if you have big pores. It's really good. Okay, next. Okay, let's go into lips, and then we're gonna do eyes, and then we're done, you guys. Okay, lips. I got a lot of options here because, well, actually, it's not even that many options, but I got options. Lip liners. I have 2 options of lip liners I'm going to recommend. No one is shocked by this, and everyone's sick of me talking about them, but I don't care. We're going to talk about 2 different lip liner options. The Victoria Beckham lip liners are so good, so good. I'm wearing the shade 04 on my lips today, and then the lip gloss I'm going to suggest soon on top. Really, really good, super long lasting, not drying at all. The shade ranges are beautiful. So the shades I have are 04, which is the shade I'm wearing on my lips today. Then I have 05, which I really, really like to wear with like really pretty lighter nudes, or on its own too is gorgeous. And then I also have the shade that's just called red, and I really, really like that too for just like a standalone by itself as a red lip, or with a red lip. Like lipstick or a red lip gloss or something like that. Super, super good, super long lasting. Then in the same vein, at a more affordable price, also super incredible shade options. I would say a better range in terms of if you have darker skin, because they have more brown options. And you have Mented Cosmetics. Mented Cosmetics is so good, such an affordable price. I think the lip liners are like $9 or something like that. Really, really good. I have the shade La La, which is this more pinky shade. The shade Dope, which I really like to wear with, in the same way that I like to wear 05 in Victoria Beckham. And then the shade Bare, which is a little bit lighter. Really, really good. Super long lasting, twist up, not sharpener like the Victoria Beckham lip liners are. And again, the price here is unmatched in terms of lip liners, like bang for your buck. Definitely here wins, just so, so good. And the shade Lala is beautiful. I got this actually for my sister, the shade Lala, and it looked so freaking good on her. I was like, damn girl, you look good. Okay, next. Next, I want to talk lip gloss because I mentioned it. So this lip gloss is so freaking good. This is the Ami Collet lip treatment oil, and like this is the most perfect universal shade, dark complexion, light complexion, everything in between complexion. Like this is the perfect lip treatment oil, but it's still a lip gloss, but it's super hydrating, but it's not too sticky, but it's not too, it doesn't feel oily. Like it lasts long, it hydrates, it glosses you up, makes you look plump, makes you look good, and doesn't wash out your complexion or like skew too light or too dark for literally, I feel like anyone. You need to try this out. I feel like they're out of stock, but when they come back in stock, you need it. That's it, that's the whole spiel. And then the PYT lipstick combo with lip gloss, it's just so good. So this specific one that I have, I believe is called Rumor so pretty. I just can't stand it. It's just such a pretty, if you look at my PYT brand review video, I tried this on camera and it looked so pretty, just the perfect brown tone. And I feel like for most people, there's like a good shade option in terms of like a good nude option for you in there. Really, really good. I really like the comfort of the lipstick wear, but also the gloss is really nice. It's hydrating, but it's not gloopy. I really, really like these. Let's move on to eyes. So first things first, I want to talk eyeliner because I'm very passionate about this subject. I have 2 eyeliners I want to recommend depending on your needs. So first I have, no one is shocked by this if you watched this channel before, the Persona Cosmetics eyeliner. This is the shade brown that I have, but this is the most long wearing, doesn't budge, won't move literally ever eyeliner of all time. Now, this isn't a great smudgy eyeliner, which is why I have a second recommendation, because some people prefer to smudge their eyeliner. You can smudge this, but you literally have to move immediately to smudge it because it sets up so quickly and then doesn't move. And the shade ranges, I mean, it's so pretty. Like, look at the richness in that. Like, it's just so beautiful. So long wearing, just the performance for the price is again unmatched, and I think this is an incredible option. The price is right, and I mean, I talked about my favorites. I need to stop talking about it because like I'm obsessed. And then next are the Victoria Beckham lip liners. The Victoria Beckham eyeliners. So these are like satin kajals. That's how they describe it. And I have it in 2 shades. I have it in black and I have it in brown. I love a brown eyeliner. That's something that in the last like year I've kind of come to really enjoy more than like just going for my classic black, because my features are so dark. Sometimes I feel like sometimes brown can look a little funky, but I feel like as like brands have kind of evolved, they've done a better job at creating browns that look really good on people that have darker hair too, because not everyone wants like a super intense black eyeliner. Anyways, I digress. So the Victoria Beckham eyeliners are really nice because they're very, very smooth. They really are. And they set up eventually, but they don't set up right away, so they're easy to smudge. So let me show you. I just applied the brown, so I'm going to smudge that one really quickly. And it just smudges really, really nicely. But once it kind of sets up and settles, it's kind of there for the day, which is really, really nice. But I do find the wear, the longevity wear, is a little less than the Persona Cosmetics. So it really depends on your preference there, but they're beautiful. So I'm wearing the brown kind of smudged under here and on my lid a little bit, and I love that look. It's so fun to kind of like add a little bit of smoke with your eyeliner, but no, once you kind of smudge it out, it doesn't look like a raccoony mess. These are really, really good. I like these, and like genuinely these eyeliners are unmatched. And I have another eyeliner that the video is either coming before or after this that is also really incredible, but I haven't been using that one as long, so these are like my standout favorites. Really good. We're going on to eyeshadows, which easy peasy lemon squeezy. And so I have a lot of palettes that I love, and I really like genuinely had a hard time picking like what I wanted to recommend here, but I will say there was one palette that stood out like beyond everything else, and that is going to be this one here. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be shocked by that, but this is the Sephora Clean Bounce palette, and I think the shade I have in this is Monarch, but it's the neutrally with the orange and the yellow. This palette is so freaking good, you guys. Like, first of all, they're putty style, so you can see my fingerprint in them already. Like when I did a full review on this channel, I like pushed my finger in. So good. You can apply them with your fingers. You don't have to worry about the palette breaking. They're all shimmers, however, in this palette, but they're not super like glittery. They're like a really delicate, expensive looking and feeling shadow. They last really well. You don't have to use a primer with them. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really depends on the day and my preference. This is really, really good, and I feel like people sleep on these palettes because they aren't talked about enough. Like the pigmentation of the yellow and this orange shade, just look at that. Are you having a heart attack? Because I am. I'm having a heart attack. I'm heart attacking right now. Just look. Oh, I also did the lightest shade. It's just so good. I genuinely like, Again, unmatched quality for the price. I think the shadow is like, I think they're $20. So really, really good, highly recommend. And then if you want something that's a powder and you want something that has a good variety of options in terms of ranges, if you like cool tone, warm tone, or whatever, the PYT eyeshadow palettes, they're so good. The mattes are so creamy, so pigmented, so easy to blend. The shimmers, some can be a little bit chunky, but not super, super like super chunky where it falls all over your face, just like when you put your finger in it, you're like, oh, it's a little chunky, but then you apply and you're like, oh, never mind, because it ends up being like creamy and blend out and look beautiful and last super long, and the shade options are beautiful. So I just want to show you. There is this palette here, which is like a warm tone, beautiful, and this yellow, first of all, like, look at that. Look at that. It's so pigmented. It's so good. Then you have this palette, which I've used on camera. So if you're interested, again, look at my PYT video. This blue here is, it's so good. And although it's like, oh no, that could be terrifying and hard to use, if you watch me use this in the video, they blend out so easily and seamlessly that it doesn't end up looking like a clown's makeup in any way. Super, super good. Then you also have this. This one's one of my favorites. Actually, this is my favorite. This is the Cool Crew Nude palette, and this is so good. I love this shade here. It's like a dark gray with a touch of brown to it. It's literally gorgeous. I'm obsessed with this. And then you have this really fun, more like mauve tone palette. I know people love mauves. It's just gorgeous and just so impressive. So I'm really like, you genuinely can, again, another price unmatched for the quality product. And that's what I love. That the starter kit should be like stuff that's like just so freaking good, and just no matter what, like it has longevity in your collection. It's not just like a throwaway item that's like trendy, if that makes sense. Like it's just really good, easy peasy, lemon squeeze. And it's not gonna bankrupt you, because if you wanna repurchase it, it's not gonna highway robbery you. At least that's how I feel. Next, let's talk about mascara. Okay, I have two mascaras here. No one's shocked by it. At least one of these. You might be shocked about this one. The Ilia mascara, the Ilia Limitless mascara. Now, I am genuinely obsessed with this mascara. This was in my favorites in 2020, my 2021 favorites. Like, I'm genuinely obsessed with this. And the reason I'm so obsessed with it is the versatility of it. Again, I think starter kit items need to be versatile. They can't just be like a one and done product, and this is versatile. It's a plastic brush. It's a double-sided plastic brush. It gives you the option of being more simplistic and having that glossy lash slick, like gorgeous, super separated lash look, but then you can also build it up. So like you can do, what I like to do is short bristles and then long. I find for me, the long bristles give me the like va-va-voom volume that I want. So I kind of do that and layer it that way, and I don't have any issues with like a ton of running, flaking. It's definitely no flaking. Like this is really good. The only place I get a little bit of running is like in the corner of my eyes, but I always run there. Like I have very, in the wind or allergy season, like I definitely get runny here, so I have a little bit of mascara that'll run, but like barely. I wouldn't recommend it if I didn't think it was really good. Like I'm obsessed and I need to stop talking about it. I know you're like, we get it. Okay, and then lastly, this mascara from PYT, I feel like this is also slept on. So this is a 24-hour mascara. It's in hourglass shape, kind of like Better Than Sex mascara, like Lash Paradise, the Ilia mascara. I mean, there's so many mascaras. The Bite Beauty mascara, but it is smaller. And what's good about this mascara, I will say, is I always recommend cleaning off the wand for most mascaras, but mostly for volumizing mascaras. And by clean off the wand, I mean like this, like go around and like scrape off the excess product. On this one, you do not need to do that. It doesn't move. It's wild. So you apply it and you're good to go. And this is a good bottom lash mascara. So this is an incredible recommendation. If you have runny eyes, or you find that you need something that you can layer on top of other mascaras to kind of lock them into place, I find that this is really good at doing that. By lock them into place, I mean like, because this doesn't budge, when I layer it on top of other mascaras that I've that sometimes maybe would move more, or, you know, when I get runny eyes, I have a little bit more run out. I have less of an issue because I layered this on top and this kind of like locks in everything. It's really good. It gives me volume, but it's not super volumizing, but I can definitely get there. But it doesn't get clumpy because there isn't a ton of product on the brush, which is the best part about this mascara. Is there's not a lot of product on the brush. So good. Genuinely obsessed. And yeah, that is my clean makeup starter kit video. If you're going to create a clean makeup starter kit, please let me know down below if like you're gonna grab any of these products. Also leave a comment down below on what else you want to see from this channel in 2022. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.